Welcome to today's exploration of connection, influence, and emotional intelligence through the lens of Machiavellian psychology. In this discussion, we'll uncover how carefully chosen questions can create genuine emotional resonance, the kind that leaves a lasting impression. Niccolò Machiavelli, often misunderstood as purely manipulative, actually emphasized the mastery of perception and understanding human nature. When applied wisely, his insights can help build meaningful connections rooted in awareness rather than control. Human interaction is shaped by curiosity. Asking the right questions does more than fill silence. It builds emotional bridges. Machiavellian philosophy teaches that true influence comes from understanding others at a deeper level, their motives, fears, and desires. When you know how to guide a conversation with precision, you shift from being merely interesting to being unforgettable. The goal is not interrogation, but illumination, to help her feel seen, understood, and valued. By the end of this video, you'll learn 5 powerful questions that go beyond surface-level conversation and open pathways to emotional connection. Each one is rooted in psychological principles of attraction, empathy, and strategic communication. These are not manipulative tactics, but conversational tools designed to create depth, trust, and intrigue when used with authenticity and balance. Stay attentive as we uncover how to turn simple questions into moments of genuine connection. One of the most effective ways to build emotional connection is to understand a person's values, what they believe in, what drives them, and what they stand for. Machiavellian philosophy views this not as manipulation, but as strategic awareness. By uncovering what matters most to someone, you learn how to communicate on a level that resonates deeply. The key, however, is subtlety. Asking value-based questions should never feel like interrogation. Instead, they should open space for reflection. Questions such as, what do you find most meaningful in the people you spend time with? Or, what kind of challenges have shaped the way you see life? Psychologically, questions like these activate self-disclosure, a process through which people form deeper bonds by revealing personal truths. When a woman shares her values, she unconsciously invests emotionally in the interaction. But this exchange only works when you listen with genuine attention, not strategic calculation. Machiavelli's wisdom lies in restraint, the ability to let others reveal themselves willingly while you guide the rhythm of the conversation with calm presence. Revealing values also helps you assess compatibility without direct confrontation. You learn not only what she says, but how she says it. Her tone, energy, and emotional emphasis reveal far more than the words themselves. Listening between the lines allows you to read the layers of motivation and belief that shape her behavior. This awareness, when combined with composure, gives you quiet insight into how she connects and what she needs emotionally. Ultimately, revealing values without pressure creates a sense of trust and understanding. It shows that you are not simply interested in attraction, but in depth, that you seek to know her mind as much as her presence. This approach aligns perfectly with Machiavellian awareness. Influence achieved through understanding, not control. When she feels both seen and respected, connection becomes natural and lasting. True connection begins when conversation moves beyond the surface. Machiavellian philosophy teaches that depth in communication is a strategic form of influence. It allows you to uncover emotion without demanding vulnerability. When speaking with a woman, the goal is not to impress her with intellect, but to create an atmosphere where she feels comfortable expressing herself. Thoughtful, emotionally grounded questions, like, what makes you feel most at peace, or what kind of moments stay with you the longest, invite introspection and authenticity. These questions signal emotional intelligence and confidence, both of which naturally inspire trust. Psychology supports this approach. People bond faster when they discuss experiences tied to emotion rather than mere facts. When she begins to share meaningful stories or memories, her brain releases oxytocin, the chemical responsible for empathy and bonding. This process makes the connection feel organic, not forced. Machiavelli's principle of controlled engagement applies here. Guide the conversation subtly, allowing her to feel in control while you remain the anchor of calm attentiveness. Emotional depth is built on presence, not performance. Listen more than you speak. Use silence strategically, allowing her thoughts to unfold without interruption. Respond not with solutions but with curiosity, mirroring her emotion through tone and pace. This quiet receptiveness transforms a simple exchange into something profoundly human. In essence, emotional depth through dialogue is both art and discipline. By asking the right questions and maintaining steady composure, you turn conversation into a space of trust and attraction. It's in that balance, between attention and restraint, that true connection takes root. Curiosity is the foundation of all meaningful connection. According to Machiavellian psychology, the ability to ask the right questions at the right time is not simply about gathering information. It's about guiding perception. When you express curiosity with precision and restraint, you subtly influence how others view you. Women in particular are drawn to men who show thoughtful curiosity rather than shallow interest. Asking questions that reveal genuine attention and emotional awareness makes her feel both understood and valued, which builds trust far more effectively than flattery ever could. Machiavelli emphasized that influence begins with understanding. In conversation, this means using curiosity not to dominate, but to observe, to listen deeply and respond with intention. Strategic curiosity involves asking open-ended questions that invite her to express herself, while allowing you to study her emotions, values, and reactions. The purpose is to create dialogue that feels effortless yet meaningful, where every question builds an invisible bridge of rapport. From a psychological perspective, people naturally feel closer to those who show interest in their inner world. When a woman senses that your curiosity stems from genuine attention rather than hidden motives, her guard lowers. The dynamic shifts. She begins to associate you with comfort, safety, and emotional understanding. This creates an emotional loop. The more she shares, the more connected she feels. Ultimately, strategic curiosity is about mastering balance. You ask not to pry, but to engage, not to impress, but to connect. When curiosity is paired with composure and empathy, it becomes a quiet form of influence, one that earns respect, stimulates attraction, and fosters genuine emotional intimacy. Trust is the emotional bridge that allows genuine connection to form, and Machiavelli understood that influence without trust is impossible. The secret lies in subtlety, building comfort through gentle curiosity rather than direct persuasion. When you ask questions that invite reflection instead of confrontation, you create psychological safety. For instance, asking, "What helps you feel most understood by someone?" or "When do you feel most yourself?" allows her to open up naturally without pressure. These questions signal empathy, which builds credibility and emotional alignment. Psychologically, this process taps into a principle known as reciprocal vulnerability. When someone feels heard and accepted, they instinctively begin to trust and share more. Your role is not to fill silence, but to guide it, to use pauses and attentive body language that communicate respect. Machiavelli's subtlety applies here perfectly. Influence grows strongest when it feels invisible. You're not trying to take control of the conversation. You're leading it through calm awareness. Building trust through questioning also means avoiding overexposure. Sharing small pieces of your own perspective at the right moments creates balance. It shows mutual openness while maintaining intrigue. A conversation that flows in this rhythm feels natural and safe, yet quietly magnetic. In essence, subtle questioning is emotional strategy refined through empathy. It transforms ordinary exchanges into deeper dialogue while keeping both authenticity and influence intact. The result is a bond built not on persuasion but on understanding, the kind of connection that endures because it was never forced. The final step in transforming dialogue into lasting connection lies in intention. Every meaningful interaction should leave an emotional imprint, not through persuasion but through presence. Machiavelli understood that influence becomes effortless when a person feels both seen and intrigued. When you guide a conversation with sincerity, control, and emotional awareness, it evolves from exchange into resonance. The woman begins to associate comfort, curiosity, and emotional stimulation with your presence, the foundation of attachment. Psychologically, this happens because emotional memory lasts longer than factual recall. She may forget your exact words, but she will remember how your questions made her feel. Questions that balance curiosity and composure, ones that neither overwhelm nor flatter, create that feeling of calm fascination. In this state, trust grows naturally and her mind begins to link your presence with emotional relief rather than tension. Turning conversation into connection also requires restraint. The Machiavellian communicator knows when to speak, but more importantly, when to pause. Strategic silence allows the other person to process emotion, to reflect. And in that reflection, emotional bonding occurs. By giving space, you demonstrate confidence and patience, qualities that speak louder than any charm. Ultimately, connection is not the result of manipulation, but of mastery. Mastery of awareness, listening, and timing. When questions are asked with calm intent and genuine curiosity, they become more than conversation. They become influence through understanding. This is the true Machiavellian art of connection. Quiet, intelligent, and deeply human. The essence of Machiavellian connection is not deceit, but awareness. The mastery of reading emotion and guiding interaction through intelligence and empathy. Words alone do not create connection. Intention does. When you approach conversation with calm curiosity and measured confidence, you project emotional control, a quality that both intrigues and reassures. Through the right questions spoken at the right moments, you invite authenticity without ever forcing it. Machiavelli's timeless principle applies here. Knowledge of human nature grants quiet power. Understanding what others value, how they think, and what they seek allows you to connect without pretense. Psychology reinforces this truth. People trust those who make them feel safe in revealing themselves. By combining perception with restraint, you transform ordinary dialogue into a space of mutual respect and fascination. In the end, the power of connection lies not in dominance but in presence. The one who listens with intention, speaks with precision, and observes with calm awareness will always stand out. These 5 questions are more than conversational tools. They are instruments of insight. Use them not to control but to understand. For the deepest influence is born, not from words that impress, but from moments that make others feel truly seen.